Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk to you today about childhood obesity and how it affects low income and minority families. Um, I hope to persuade families who are minorities and who have low income to look into getting educated about childhood obesity so that they are able to provide their children with a more healthier future. Um, It's very common for children who are of low income or who are of minority families to be obese than it is for children who come from um, upper class or middle class families to be considered obese or have issues with obesity. Um, One of the reasons why is because children now spend more time with tablets or with computers and watching television than they do getting out and getting some exercise. Uh, and a lot of the exercise should come from when your child is in school. Childhood obesity more so affects children ages 2 to 5 years old, because that is a time where children are learning things, or you're modeling behavior for them. What they see you do is what they typically do. And we teach them to be obese because we give them things because it keeps them quiet. We give them juice, we give them cake, we give them cookies, just so that we can get a little bit of quiet just for a moment. So we teach these kids these habits, and then as they get older, they continue them. And then continuing in these habits causes them to develop things like high cholesterol, diabetes, and all that stuff. So diabetes is prevalent in a Black household. So I want to help African American people so that they are teaching their children how to choose fruits over vegetables. Ever since Michelle Obama came out with her campaign to get kids up and moving, the rates for child obesity has gone down. However, it's still a very real thing. Children still are obese, especially children, like I said, who are a part of the low income society. Um, Physical activity is something that should be happening at least 2 hours a day for children aged 2 to 5. And a lot of times, because children are in school, they get about an hour of outside time when they run around and whatnot, especially once it starts to get cold. So when you are enrolling your children in school, you should be looking for things to make sure that they're doing physical activities in the classroom, especially when the weather's inclement. So if it's raining outside, if it's snowing and they're not going outside, which I don't understand why children can't play outside in the snow, like it's fun. I think that children should be encouraged to go outside so that they're able to, you know, move their bodies, get that exercise that they definitely need. And a lot of times children are overactive because they have so much energy. Can you imagine all the energy just flowing through their little bodies, and they just want to get it out? Um, and so a lot of times that's why they are being rambunctious, because we're not encouraging them to do healthy things with their bodies. Um, 80 to 85% of children's time spent at preschool is sedentary. Um, and the amount of physical activity they get is dependent upon the school. So you want to make sure that you're enrolling your children in school where they're going to be able to get that physical activity. With children aged 2 to 5 years old, Hispanic children have the highest obesity rate. And then non-Hispanic, Black children come in second to that. Um, so it's important that we encourage our children, we teach our children healthy habits, healthy eating habits, healthy exercise habits, and especially making sure that when we bring them home from these programs, that we're doing stuff with them once they get home, even if it's going for a walk around the block or around the neighborhood. Um, there's other things that affect childhood obesity, and there's a chart here for your reading pleasure so that you can see different things that cause childhood obesity: healthcare, food insufficiency, exercise, genetic factors, past nutrition, health, and social risk. All those things tie into being overweight. Being from a low income family, being from a minority family, all of that, works together. Another thing that contributes to childhood obesity is not teaching them the right foods to eat. So a lot of times kids are screaming and they want stuff, and we give them whatever it is that's going to keep them quiet. Instead of giving them chips, how about giving them an apple? Or instead of giving them juice, give them water. Sidebar, and definitely not a ad here. Nestle has this great water called Splash. It's delicious. I love it. And it gives you a little flavor. There's a lemon one and then there's a berry one. I'm getting beside the point, but just to let you know, there's healthy alternatives to juice. So it's still on subject, right? Yes. Anywho, mothers who are less informed about giving their children the right fruits and vegetables will more than likely give their children the unhealthy snacks. So it's important that we teach our young mothers how to feed their children properly. And a program that helps with that is WIC. That's for Women, Infant, and Children. WIC stands for Women, Infant, and Children. And what they do is they teach mothers about how to take care of themselves when they're pregnant by eating the right foods, because the food you eat when you're pregnant also affects your child when they grow up. So eating healthy when they're pregnant, as well as when they're infants, making sure they're getting the nutrition that they need with the milk they'll provide, formula and all that stuff. And then as they get older, they provide fruits, vegetables, and milk as well. So then you're able to continue with those habits. They give you these little checks where you can go to a grocery store and you can get fruit. You can go to a farmer's market, you can get fruit, and you can get vegetables. You can get Cheerios and milk and peanut butter and things that are good for you, things that are healthy for you, and things that will encourage children to make healthier choices. I think that it's very important that we continue to educate our children so that when they get older, they're not having those diseases that kill people every day, like diabetes and high blood pressure and high cholesterol. We want our children to outlive us, and they can't outlive us if we're not teaching them the right things to do for their bodies. Your body is how you're going to live longer. If you can't make healthy choices for your body, you're not going to be able to live to see, your children grow up and have children. And that is the goal, to get older and to encourage our children to make the best decision. And we always say as parents that we want our children to be better than us. Why not start with teaching them how to be more healthier than we are? So I hope today that by doing this speech, you guys are encouraged and you're powered up and you're ready to teach your children some healthy eating habits. You're ready to teach your children how to eat vegetables and fruit and not so much sugar. Maybe, cut back on the sugar a little bit so that they're able to be healthy children themselves. Thank you for listening.